Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Omega, and welcome to the Retro Zone. In this episode of the Retro Zone, we'll be taking a look at GOLGO 13, Top Secret Episode. Now this game is part of the GOLGO 13 franchise, and was released in 1988 by Victor Kai for the Nintendo NES console. Now this popular Japanese franchise includes manga, OVAs, live action films, an anime series, and of course video games. And I happen to be a big fan of the franchise myself. Now the gameplay in this game mixes side-scrolling elements with first-person shooting, and you must always save the world. The game is split into 13 levels called acts, which each are named after a classic film, and you get 52 lives called episodes. Now that sounds fun, right? Well, GOLGO 13's health/energy levels start at 200 and will steadily go down as you play. And now it's starting to sound hard. Well, to regain health, you will need to go around killing enemies. Now that's a fun concept. The backstory is that of a helicopter exploding above New York City, and GOLGO 13 is assigned a blame by the CIA because they find fragments of a weapon that is also used by GOLGO 13. Well, anyway, the helicopter happened to be transporting the Cassandra G, a biological weapon secretly developed by the CIA themselves. Now obviously the plot of this game is to find out who is involved and clear your name, and save the world. What is it with games and saving the world? Not only is this a great game, but it went so far in pushing the envelope at the time. In fact, outside of Japan, the game was censored prior to release. Nintendo had strict censorship policies regarding content published for a Nintendo system, and Nintendo of America decided the game needed to be altered before being released outside of Japan. Now the original version of the game had you going up against a resurrected quote-unquote German regime, but not all the censorship was as effective as renaming the enemy. The final boss is a cyborg Adolf Hitler, and you can still see that. And at one point within the game there is a swastika still visible. But my favourite act of censorship on the game was the change of job for GOLGO 13 himself. Now he's an expert assassin, as evidenced by the backstory, and yet this game had to depict him as a spy. Although the game managed to get the all clear from Nintendo of America and its censorship, the game still has plenty of sexual themes, violence and smoking, which are all violations of the censorship policies. You can see enemies bleeding when you kill them in a sniper mission, and yes, at the start of the game you can even find a pack of cigarettes. But even more explicit is that certain parts of the game you will find yourself in a hotel room with a variety of different women. Whatever you will get up to during the night is up to your imagination. GOLGO 13 Top Secret Episode is one of the very first games aimed at an adult audience, and gives an excellent story as you would expect from GOLGO 13. Now the game stays true to nearly every aspect of GOLGO 13's personality, and the game itself integrates several different types of gameplay, including platform shooting, first person shooting, 3D maze exploration and swimming. Now what made this game very notable was first of all its mature storyline, but secondly the fact that it was released outside of Japan. Now you have to remember, GOLGO 13 at the time had no brand name. It wasn't known outside of Japan. As always, thanks for joining me in the past, and now it's time to take you back to the present. If you would like to see more from myself or the Generations Gamers game, click on the logos on the screen at the moment. Alternatively, you can go to our official websites. Mr. Omega's is omegasmash.net, and the Generation Gamers game is thegenerationgamersgame.com.